Would you like to know how to make a fabulous chocolate cake with no cholesterol, or your favorite recipe 100% organic? Whether you're looking to lose weight, eat healthier, or go green, join me on Jen's Guiltless Gourmet for a culinary tour of foods from around the world with a twist. Everything I cook not only tastes great, but is healthier for you. I'll show you how to make simple ingredient changes and use creative cooking methods to transform even the most decadent recipes into Guiltless Gourmet. Healthier for the planet, healthier for you. Now I have to admit that carrot cake is actually my favorite way to eat carrots. And how can something called carrot cake be bad for you? Well, normally it is loaded with fat and oil. So I'm going to show you a couple easy things you can do to change that. And the first thing I'm going to do is start with an egg substitute product. Now this is basically like a vegetable starch that's been mixed into water, and it acts as a binding agent. So I have the equivalent of 2 eggs. And for more information on that, you can go to my website at jensguiltlessgourmet.com. To that, I'm gonna add 3/4 of a cup of applesauce. Now this acts as a moisturizer and will replace half of our oil in this recipe. Now the oil I'm using is coconut oil. It's cholesterol free and it works very well in baked goods. I have 3/4 of a cup. And it's gonna give a great coconut undertone to this cake. All right, to that I'm gonna add half a cup of organic cane sugar, half a cup of organic brown sugar. I stay with raw unprocessed sugars as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a stir. Okay. Now I'm gonna mix my dry ingredients. And it's important that you mix them together first before adding them so they're well combined. Now I have 2 cups of organic unbleached flour. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking soda, about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. I'm gonna give this a quick mix together, and then I'm gonna sift it together so that it's really well combined. Grab my sifter. Now if this was a fluffier cake, I would sift this more than just once, but carrot cake is kind of a nice dense cake, so or this recipe in particular. I'll just sift this through like that. And now I'm gonna add it to my wet ingredients. And just start to whisk all this together. Okay, now I'm gonna add my vanilla. I have a tablespoon of vanilla. I'm gonna go ahead and add my pineapple as well. I have a 1/4 cup. No, I have about half a cup of pineapple. I love pineapple, and I love it in my carrot cake. Oh, that smells so good with the vanilla in there too. And then I'm gonna add half a cup of shredded coconut. And again, that great coconut undertone with the coconut oil as well. I'm gonna stir that in. Okay, now I'm gonna switch to a different type of spoon because I'm gonna fold in our carrots, and I have 4 cups of shredded carrots. Oh, these make such beautiful cakes. Wow. Alrighty, as I'm folding that in, I'm also gonna add about a 1/4 cup of chopped pecans. And up to you, you can add walnuts, you could add macadamia nuts, or you could leave the nuts out. And a 1/4 cup of raisins. This is really one of those cakes that you can just play around with and have fun. You just can't play around with the amount of baking soda to flour ratio. You have to stick with those things. But as far as the other little added accoutrements, now I have a prepared baking sheet here that I've put some wax paper in the bottom so that I know this cake will come out easily. Whoops. It's a very non-stick pan. My wax paper doesn't even want to stay put. And this is the best thing you can do for yourself when you're baking, is to line the bottom of the pan with wax paper or parchment paper. Because how many times do you have a beautiful cake and it's just totally stuck? My life got so much easier when I learned this little trick. And I have to admit, I didn't learn it till I was in my 20s, so I suffered through a lot of stuck cakes. There we go. Alrighty, let's get this in the oven. 360 degrees for about 40 minutes, or until the toothpick comes out clean. When we come back, we're gonna frost that and make our ginger martini surprise. Our cake is out of the oven, it's had time to cool, and I'm ready to make the frosting. And I'm gonna make a dairy-free, lower in fat cream cheese frosting. So I'm gonna start with about 4 ounces of soy cream cheese. You can use regular cream cheese if you like, but use the low-fat kind. And I have about 1/4 of a stick of soy margarine, non-hydrogenated, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Just gonna beat those together. Alrighty. Now to that I'm gonna add powdered sugar, and I've already pre-sifted this so that it doesn't clump in my frosting. A nice little trick when you're making powdered sugar frostings. There we go. Let's mix this up a little bit before I turn the beaters on. Okay, and I'm just gonna keep adding powdered sugar until I've reached my desired consistency. And I wanna be able to pipe this in a pastry bag, so I want it to be kind of thick. And so I just add it little by little so that I don't end up with too much powdered sugar in there. And if you do, just add a little bit of soy milk or regular milk. Okay, we're gonna add our last bit of powdered sugar because we're almost there. That should be good. I'm gonna use the spatula for this because those beaters are getting really stiff. Okay. All right, and as I'm putting this in, I'm gonna add just a little bit of fresh lime juice because I just wanted to have a little bit of an extra special flavor. And literally, I'm gonna add maybe 1/4 teaspoon, just a teeny bit, and some fresh orange zest. I love the smell of orange zest. And now when people have the cream cheese frosting, it's gonna have this little special taste in there. It's gonna go really great with the carrot cake. Alrighty. This is gonna be perfect. Just mix that up. And next, I'm gonna clean off my counter and decorate my cake. I'm gonna do a really fun individual plating for these. It's gonna be really pretty. First, I'm gonna fill my pastry bag. I use pastry bags a lot, and for years I didn't. For years I would do all sorts of other things with frosting, but these are so fun, they're so easy to use, there's so many things you can do with them. And the more you get into cooking, the more it's fun to try out all new techniques. And they're cheap. So here we go. Just gonna scoot this down in here. Now, one of the tricks to using a pastry bag is don't fill it all the way to the top, or you'll make a mess. So you just kind of scoot that down in there so you don't have any air bubbles. I'll set that frosting aside. And now to do my individual plating, I am gonna take a little cookie cutter or biscuit cutter. And I'm just gonna cut out little individual cakes. See how easy this is? It's so easy to make your home food look like restaurant food. And this is also an excellent way to kind of keep track of your portion size and your calories. Because if you just set the whole cake on the table, it's so easy to eat the whole cake. This way, you're just kind of keeping track. Alrighty, so now I'm just gonna pipe a little frosting in the middle here. Because we are gonna make a little double layer cake. And ooh, oh, this is such a nice moist carrot cake recipe. Wow. And again, it's got about 1/4 of the fat of a normal carrot cake with all fresh organic ingredients. This is so pretty. And our frosting too. Lower in fat, lower in calories. Every little bit helps. when you're trying to eat healthy, to watch your weight, to watch your cholesterol. I have some beautiful nuts here. I'm just going to decorate the top with a couple walnuts. And we are just about ready to serve dinner.